Mm, Scraven, please. Can you ruin it? If not,
Well,
it's okay. I will trust your word that it won't hurt us, right?
the backpack might. The backpack gives a little bit of a nibble, per se. I think the bottle is just any ordinary bottle, though.
I think that's all the information we're gonna get out of him, Tommy and Shorzy.
Well, that's about all I've heard enough. All right, Shorzy, let's get busy with this rope and get us a raft built.
All right. I mean, we got boards, we got a hammer, and we got maybe some bent nails. I don't know. These are my work.
I don't think I couldn't find all that many nails, unfortunately. But it's it's worth trying.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than just trudging through this goop or whatever the hell this stuff is.
Yeah, I don't think we wouldn't last very long.
Yeah, I'll be helping you guys with the boards and all that too.
So we're gonna try to make a raft, makeshift raft, to at least try to get some distance before acid fucks with us.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or if the rat finally snaps and just decides to try and eat us.
Yeah, that's really my goal right now. It's just to make distance between us and him.
It should be good for now. At least he's, our friend, but I don't know how long that'll last.
So you guys proceed to attempt to build a raft for a little bit. However long that might take is something that we'll get back to. As now, we look at the other side. Da-da-da.
Just put Chloe on my shoulder so it follows me around.
The two of you really are like Banjo and Kazooie.
Yeah.
Was that JoJo music?
No. I'm trying to find. Nope. Man, I'm just trying. I got one good music on here for this. It's hard because it's like. There we go. Now we go back to King, Chloe, and Pharaoh as they are currently leaving and watching as their friends have gotten, well, swallowed whole.
So what do we do about that?
Well, it's up to you if you guys want to say anything at the moment, but you guys are currently running away.
Yeah, King's just like, I don't think there's anything we can do about that at the moment for him.
Yeah. Like, do we just keep going? I mean,
I think it's best we get as far away as possible because the last thing we need is to also be dragged in.
yeah, I guess. Hey, do you think if we complete the mission, do you think they just get left for dead, or do you think they, like, teleport back?
I have no idea. But considering we may have all already died once, I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say if
there's a way out, I'm sure they'll find it.
that is very optimistic, and honestly, I do not have a better proposal. So, sure, where to? Want a pack? I got a bunch of them.
Where? Well, first we have to find out what it is we're looking for that we have to defeat. Since we do get wards back, if they could survive long enough inside that thing for us to kill the other thing, then, well, they should ward back, right?
I think. Yeah, that sounds right. I don't think we have another choice. What was our mission again this time?
I don't think we got one. We were warped into a hellhole, although we're supposed to there was that, event poster about the race.
Yeah. Rules, survive mission, start your engines. Okay, thank you.
Dang, way to out Shorzy like that.
Well, shall we go to the race?
That's the only clue we've got, because we didn't get a ping from that fucking thing.
Yeah. Alright, let's keep going.
So, now, as it comes to you guys realize one thing, and very specific. The road that you guys were near is no longer around you guys.
My fucking god.
You are essentially in the middle of the desert of nowhere.
Hey King, where's the road?
That's a fantastic question, Theorem. What are your theories?
Okay, I'm gonna roll a d4 for a cardinal direction. North being 1, south being 2, east being 3, and west being 4.
Why don't you just do
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4?
Yeah, that way. I'm just gonna point north. Maybe that way? You wanna walk that way?
Because the road was here, we weren't too terribly far from it. Unless the road was part of the mimic and was a lure.
That wouldn't make sense because the road spanned way further. Unless the mimic terraformed the entire area, I don't see how that could be the case. I propose we just keep walking.
We could walk a perimeter around the mimic, see if we could find bits of the road to tell us where it was.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
So, you guys have gotten far enough away from the mimic to really not see it around anymore. And as you guys are traveling just to get basically anywhere at this point, it's a very hot day. And it's been at least what you would guess to be a multitude of hours, like 4 hours probably. It's past at this point, and I'm not gonna lie, that sun is not doing you guys any favor. You need Constitution saving throws or be exhausted.
Well, we did stop for a bit on the mimic and get water.
Yeah, but it's not the water; it's the sun, the heat.
An 11.
12.
Oh.
Fortunately, you guys do not feel exhausted. You're still. However, Chloe, definitely feeling a little bit exhausted. Kind of just like wants to basically just like climb in your backpack, Pharaoh, if you have one.
Sure.
A little rat pouch there, and there's see, what are your guys' passive perception?
Not high, if I remember
13.
correctly. Passive perception 11.
13 is good enough, as
Thank fuck.
Farum doesn't notice, but King, the sand around you guys looks like it's starting to shift a little bit by little bit.
Shift how?
Like, almost as if there was like a small like bump on the top of the sand that kind of happens here, there. Like the sand comes up a little bit from where it was.
Oh, so dunes.
I would say you could say like dunes, but this is actively happening.
What do you think that could be?
What could be?
And King will point out the shifting sands.
You know what that is? That's problems.
Yeah, speaking of problems. Those shifting sands are headed straight towards you guys now, except now that you notice it and see it, the shifting sands, it's not like there's just one line of shifting sand that coming towards you. There's about 3 lines, as they don't even get as near, probably like 30 feet, 40 feet away. As you see these giant, like, halfway purple, halfway brown, basically 50-foot tall worms come on out from the sands. 50? No, more like 30. And it is as disgusting and dangerous as a giant sandworm would sound, as they all kind of like look at you even though they have no eyes, and they open up their mouths to show like 4 sections of their mouths open up, teeth on every section of it, like every corner of the mouth, as you see a little bit of green acid slime come out from their mouths as they're all at you guys, as they proceed to start doing a circling motion now around you guys, as it goes from 40 feet to 30 feet and still closing in.
So, what do we do about that one?
We had similar things where I'm from. There's no surviving them on foot. Really isn't. Not in this small of a group. One's hard enough already.
How many are there again?
3.
Seems fun enough. Want to go kill him?
We'll die before we land a decent blow, but...
Nah. I mean, what other choice do we have? You want to die fucking not fighting?
Is there any large amounts of rock that King can see?
Probably about 50 feet away, I would say there is a big rock. Like, the size of like I would say whatever. I'm trying to think of the size of a boulder, but like twice the size of like what you would think of an average boulder.
Are we going to the boulder?
Some harder rock to stand on would probably be better than loose sands.
Yep, I agree. Can,
So my
can we
question
make it
is,
over there first?
that's my question is, how would you make it over there?
How far is it?
I said it was 50 feet away.
50 feet, we can make it in a single round if we sprint.
That is true. How far are the creatures from us?
Oh, they've been circling you at about 30 feet at the moment.
Hmm. So I have a way over there in the fact that my clone is hilarious and gives me just like an extra free 15 feet. Do you have a way over there?
King can run.
Yeah, but you'll probably be taking attacks. I mean, I guess there's no other way, right? Actually, clone's a bonus
Unfortunately
round.
not.
Yeah.
Unless... Can King use thaumaturgy to make an obnoxiously loud sound to disrupt the sand, like there's a bigger prey target 30 feet behind the worms?
How big of a noise can you make?
I can get as loud as I want so long as it doesn't do physical damage to creatures.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I can even cause what would be harmless tremors, but tremors nonetheless in the ground.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, he wants to cause tremors to distract the worms to something else that could be burrowing over there. Do they react?
So, two of them immediately do start to go over to that direction. However, there is one that did not care as it was rebursted out, as it is going to proceed to come at you, King, and try to swallow you whole. And just as that is happening, just as this gigantic beast of a worm, purple, just too many things to describe this horrifying creature that just oozes out with the terrifying presence of just being huge, to be honest. You hear in the distance yeah, okay. You hear in the distance, "No, shoot him!" And followed by that is multiple shots of what you would guess to be guns from different types of weapons. Pew pew pow pow. As there's even a big explosion after of something going towards this thing. Pow! And as it was going to hit you, it just kind of like goes to the side a little bit with half of its face almost kind of now just this purple mesh of guts. It kind of screeches as it proceeds to go back into the sand and kind of disappears. As you will see in the distance, da, da, da. The names didn't say, oh well. as you will see in the distance, a basically a squadron. So 8 people lined up with guns of different sorts, as well as some. Well, how do I explain this to you guys? They're like motorcycles behind them, but they're not motorcycles specifically. They're more like
You thinking like a dune buggy or something like that? Something made more for traveling on the sand?
yeah, kind of like a motorcycle dune buggy. Uh, da-da-da-da-da. And the person at the front, who is basically what you could guess to be the one that said now, this person. Da-da-da. And I'm doing the wrong one. Whoop. There we go. I'm going to try to do this, and it's gonna be very terrible, so I apologize in advance. But she's like, "Oi, get your dumbasses out here! Don't you see that's the place of the worms?"
Well, hey, I'm not complaining. I'm running there.
Yeah, King will follow.
You guys proceed to follow by, and what you would guess to be right behind you, the two worms that you had actually had them go away before with your thaumaturgy trick. They were interested in that for a good little bit, but now you guys are essentially running away from two things that are buried deep into the sand that are at the moment coming right at you guys. So, I would like you both to give me an athletics check.
Sure. 24.
12.
Alright,
Rolling kind of middle of the road today.
just a light.
Yeah, I have like a +7 in athletics. I could roll a fucking like 8 and be fine.
You, Ferrum, are heading straight up to her and her crew. No problems. Like, you are hoofing it. Like, you're almost what I would say would be faster than the worms themselves. But as you turn around, you see King has. They haven't like specifically tripped or nothing, but are probably at the moment 2 times slower than you are, and the worms are rapidly approaching them.
uh, how far is King away from the caravan?
From the group, I'd say probably about, at the moment, about 40 feet.
40 feet. How far are the worms from her?
At the moment, 60 feet. Oh, wait, from her? That'd
Yeah.
be about 20 feet then.
How far away are the worms from me?
You are basically able to make it and turn around, so it would be about 60 feet.
60. Wow, that roll does not make this easy. Hey King, how much like health you got?
He's got 25 hit points.
Okay,
He did fall out of a car in the sky.
yeah, I'm gonna turn straight the fuck around. I'm just gonna try and get in between the worms and King, and then just prepare Misty Step.
Oh, I can just hear the Chloe What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw Chloe to the group, and well, if Chloe's in my bag. Does she travel with me?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, if that's the case, I'm not throwing Chloe.
All right.
So I'm just gonna get in between them. And just try and take aggro, so to speak.
Because of the plan and how you're doing it, you proceed to basically get in the middle of them, and you just like hear from the group like, "What are you doing? Come on!" You hear from Chloe, "What the fuck?" And as the worm bursts out, it lunges out to like eat you, swallow you whole. At the last kind of possible second, you vanish and essentially reappear next to King, who has almost made it to the rest of the group. So at this point, they tell you to. So at this point, they tell you to get onto the bikes basically and proceed to follow them essentially, as they want to get out of there as much as you do at the very moment.
Who am I to complain, honestly?
Yeah, literally. Who are we to?
All right, you guys all proceed to get onto the bikes. Uh, Following on probably one of the more foot soldier bikes, you guys essentially start just driving out and getting to safety. Uh, During this time, though, you now can get a closer look at some of the people, some of the crew. Maybe get a little bit of conversation going if you wanted. I will re-show the main person, so to speak, the one that seemed to be in charge. I don't want to say pirate specifically, but kind of like a pirate get up. But more specifically that of the colors of yellow and well yeah, yellow and white, I would say. So that's the color palette. I don't have the color palette, but there you go.
Yeah.
They definitely look like they're all armed with plenty of types of guns, or what you would guess to be more makeshift guns at this point. Guns that you would guess to be, well, post-apocalyptic, honestly.
Yeah.
Things that look
Yeah.
like they've had patchwork that they've had to self-make at some point, some DIY stuff, and that Uh, no. Okay, yeah. I gotta go. And show you off another character of interest, because pretty much these two people that look of interest is that who was the captain of the crew you would guess to be, and this person who looks to be basically a war veteran at any point that you would give it. Like, man's in full military outfit. It's still spray painted to be yellow, but it's more of like a yellow and green. He definitely looks like he's got plenty of ammunition on him. Outside of like the almost stylish way of the dreadlocks, like I don't know how to explain it outside of just saying look
Yeah.
at it. But he's like, ah, y'all fellas lucky we got here on time. Could have been warm food.
That we coulda. Thank you for the save.
Indeed. We were trying to find the road we were originally on before a fucking oasis came to life and is currently fucking up 3 of our other comrades.
Oh, they're probably dead. I'm sorry to tell you. I ain't seen nobody escape
Yeah,
that mimic.
I mean, we're kind of expecting that to be the case, so we're just gonna hope they survive a couple of days.
A couple of days? Well, shit, I know I probably wouldn't. That's enough. I think you're scaring them a little bit. My bad,
Nah.
my bad.
Scared? No. Hopeful? Also no.
Try to hope have enough experience with somebody who really, despite their intelligence with gadgetry, manages to blow themselves up almost every day and survive. So, if they can do that, I'm certain sure that you can do that.
Yeah. How many days till you
That
think they
sounds-
start eating each other?
Well,
Considering they should have rations on them, I'm certain they can last a couple days. If not, there's plenty of mimic meat.
Are mimics edible?
Don't know, haven't tried.
We should try that later. Anyways, sorry for getting lost in our own world.
perfectly fine. We're all a little trapped in this world, as you would say, but seeing as it sounds like you guys come from a little bit away, I guess. What brought you down here in this post-apocalyptic hell?
The race. Saw something about it, looked fun, said why not. Lost half of our group to a mimic. Been a fun day, honestly.
The race? You don't happen to mean start your engines, do you?
Yeah, that one.
Well, that's quite a coincidence because we also plan to enter into the race. I suppose you don't know who we are, do you?
Nope. We're
Not a
pretty
clue.
ignorant.
She stops, everybody else stops, as she's like, well, we can discuss more here now that we're in a more safe place. Brrrr. As you look around, it looks to be like rusted, very, very old sand all over them, cars, a tank, as well as multiple buildings.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As she gets off of her bike, cracks her neck a little bit. Let's get down to some business now. I will help answer any of your questions that you might need. And in return, well, return for the bullets that we have just used, you will help us on a little mission.
Sure.
That was very fast. I thought this was going to take a little bit more convincing.
Nope. I'm pretty confident in my ability to do tasks. May I ask what it is?
Yeah, I'm not agreeing until I hear what it is.
Well, well, to get into that, I guess I should first ask. You don't know who we are as a group, so I'll tell you at least at the moment, there are multiple groups out there. Just be lucky that you ran into us. Well, you see, we are the Sun Raiders. She's like in a hero pose kind of now, with like which you would guess to be wind in the air picking up her hair as she's waiting for like a response.
Yeah, King's just kind of looking at her like, and
Uh, well, that usually gets people's attention a little bit more.
absolutely
I told
no
you we
offense,
are
ma'am.
pretty ignorant.
I told you we are pretty ignorant when it comes to groups. We were not kidding.
Best way I can describe it, beyond outsiders, really, truly. We don't have any idea of any local groups in this region. Not a one. Example, I come from a clan known as the Blitz. You probably never heard of them.
Is that somewhere in New Aussie?
I
No.
wouldn't worry about it. We are just kind of assume we just dropped into the world like 3 days ago.
Why do you say the world? Why not just say the name?
Because we don't know that either.
I told you we are very ignorant. Assume you're
boy.
speaking to someone with the knowledge of like a 5-year-old.
She starts like taking you guys like on like a small walk around the base, trying to show you off like some of the small bits of base that they actually have. But while doing so, she's gonna be talking about this. So she's like, "Okay, look, I don't know how foreign you guys are, but we are on Earth, and I remember it very specifically because Mama always said Earth started with an A."
King's gonna stop and just stare at the back of her head.
What? So Earth, right? That's how you pronounce it.
Yes, Earth.
It starts with an A. Where's the A sound?
It's from the beginning, the Earth.
Yeah, but you're saying which is an ER sound.
Yes, Aerth. Earth.
Isn't AE like air, not
Aren't you the ones that are new around here?
Well, yeah, but like we found some books, like old literature.
Oh,
They got eaten by the mimic.
Oh, she like turns to some of the soldiers. How do you spell Earth? They're like Aerth. Yeah, pretty sure it's Earth.
Yeah, but the books we found look to be like 50 years old.
I'm gonna need,
King's trying so hard to keep his composure right now.
I'm gonna need a deception check. Trying to change a whole civilization.
To be fair, this could be the way they spell their version
No,
of
I
Earth.
did not convince them at all. They do
Books-
not believe me.
Books can be written by anybody at any time, so that's not always the right information if multiple people are telling you. In any case, you are on Earth in New Aussie, or formerly known as Australia. But everything changed after the rapture. One of the bigger changes is even after trying to be good, no one was taken by the rapture. You guys do know what that is, right?
King's just gonna be like, because the thing is, he's just gonna look at her and like just shake his head.
Ferrum's gonna assume it's the rapture he's thinking of and go, yeah.
And King, he has no idea what that is because Christianity and shit like that doesn't exist where he's from, so he's like, no, I have no fucking idea what that is.
To give it to you short, then she kind of just explains like the rapture about, God comes down and takes the good people, and then that just leaves everyone else.
Pretty fucked up.
Yes, and it's the last time I checked, it's been over 100 years since that happened. But to continue on, we, or, well, who we are, the Sun Raiders, as she goes back into her little pose, uh, is. I don't know why I put that here. Okay, yeah. We are basically some. I won't lie about it. We're basically people holding out for hope right now. We try to accept and help anyone in needs. The problem is we don't have much left to give at this point. But I'm looking at a brighter future for us. And I'm still hoping. The only reason we even saw any of you is because we were out scouting for materials, such as, well, food. Though if I'm going to explain to you, us, I should also explain that there are other groups. Too many to count, in fact, but I'll tell you, or at least I'll dim it down, to the big groups to watch out for. This is for you note takers if you want to take any. Be careful for the Wicked Witches. They're essentially an exclusive all-girl group who wear black, so it's kind of hard to miss them. They specialize in a witchcraft of sorts. No one really understands how it works, so I can't really explain how it would work. But then comes the Hornets. That's the group of the worst of the worst. A band of abusers, killers, and my god, their awful music. I don't even want to think about it, how awful it is. Ugh.
It's like fucking K-pop.
However, I will say they specialize in the use of that music in weird ways. But how can you see what they're doing if you never know how to counter it? And then the one that I honestly gives me the shivers the most, the mutants. It's kind of exactly as it sounds. People who have mutated the radiation or different methods. In my opinion, it's more of a deformity with how they look, but who am I to judge? They don't really have a specialization that I can out, because it's kind of random what you'll get with them. Not too many are alive to tell you that story, though. Those are the groups to truly watch out for. There are some smaller ones with their own gimmicks and their own styles, but as we are the Sun Raiders, we try to go with freedom and hope. And as much as I hate to say it, that's kind of our specialty.
Okay. Can you tell us the thing you were gonna have us do?
Right. So,
To the chat.
the mission, well, the mission that as